Good evening, Whakawhātu, Pomari Elite Ikile here. Very good to see you. Sort of just jump in there and catch up. I thought I'll just have a quick Facebook Live, and I suppose one of the big reasons is I'm actually on a break. So this is actually my week off. So I'm at an undisclosed location. So if you can figure out where I am according to the little bridge there and some dude there. Hey Peter, good to see you. You might hear a little bit of wind. You might hear a bit of a truck driving past, things like that. Hey, guess I saw. Okay. Very good, very good. So you might see and hear a few things. That's all good. The hood. Sort of do a quick catch up, and in order to make sure that I keep up my Wednesday night lives. You know, this is just going to be a bit of a shorter one, and main reason being is I'm supposed to be on my break, so you know that sort of stuff. Oh, kia ora, Pomari Sienna. Very good to see you, Ricky. Awesome. Yep. The family's doing well, Ricky. Oh, Ricky, good to see you, man. Really good to see you. Yeah. So as you know, things are heating up over in the US. The US, of course, is in a sense, they lead the world in a lot of things. If the US were not here, then we would actually be in a lot of trouble, because the US, whether we like them or not, they actually are one of the main obstructional barriers of ideological, or I would say expansionist behavior by an ideology that we do not actually adhere to. So we really do need the US to be that leading force in the world. Yeah, Marlo, Kelly. Sorry, I'm looking. The letter's always a bit small on my phone. I'm sort of flipping off that one, so that's really good. Hey, Jason, good to see you. So yeah, now of course, as you know, the New Zealand mainstream media was utterly disgusting. It just sickens me how absolutely partisan they are. In 2016, the Western media was talking about Russian hackers and election fraud, and they were absolutely flowing through on the narrative that there was a Russian influence over the elections, that needed to be sorted, that President Trump, or President-elect Trump at the time, should not have been made president because of the Russian interference with electioneering. Now, of course, we are starting to see actual verifiable evidence of electioneering and tampering going on, but the Western media is absolutely pushing the line of saying, no, Biden's won. Biden's won. Biden's won. It's amazing as to how that. It's just incredible how they are absolutely going on the side of that. They're not even talking about president-elect. They're saying President Biden. And our New Zealand mainstream media is utterly embarrassing when it comes to this sort of thing. And as you may or may not know, of course, they have suddenly dropped the title President-elect Biden or President Biden, because, of course, now it's starting to be seen that some of the electoral college votes aren't going the way that they thought they would, that they are, in fact, starting to see some evidences that are very concerning, and that they may look at recounting some aspects, or at least waiting for the proper results to come out. So that's one thing that's really, really big about it. Again, it's something that I've mentioned before. We are looking at building our own voice into the media, because we don't have any conservative voice at all in New Zealand. We just do not. It doesn't exist. What we do have, we've got one which is business based, and they are on the right wing of economics, and we've got one who is a bit more libertarian. That would be ZB Talkback. They are more libertarian. We have no conservative voice. We have no one in there. We've got two voices, and that's about it. And they're not media outlets. They are, in fact, one does a podcast, and the other one is on Magic Talk, and he sort of flutters between libertarianism and conservatism. So very, very much Gore versus Bush all over again. Yes, absolutely right, Jason. Yep, totally agree. So we're looking forward to that sort of angle going on, and can't wait for it. So yeah, as well as that, that it's also now seen that our children are now under assault in an unprecedented way, because of course now critical race theory has now been included into the curriculum and under the TKI guidelines. You know, that push saying basically if you are Māori, then you are oppressed. And Pacifica becomes a little bit lower. So in the documentation that I've been putting out to people, it's got Māori are the first. As Māori, we are the most oppressed. As Pacifica, sort of like got a secondary level of oppression, and of course it's the white man's fault. There's something which is really big. Critical race theory, and as I've mentioned, one of the underpinning books and one of the underpinning research elements that they utilize is from a book called White Fragility. And White Fragility is written by a white author, oddly, who was a career academic, and she makes her money basically going around telling white people that they are inherently racist just by being white. It is such a despicable aspect of academics. They don't know real life, and they get paid by the public money, so they've got no real understanding of real life as well. And this is one of the underpinnings now, and it's going to early childhood, primary school, and secondary school. That's one. That one is. You know also about the purer form of gender ideology. The purer form of gender ideology, saying that basically your boy or your girl is not a boy or a girl, but they have the right over you as a parent, over you as the caregiver, to decide what their own gender will be, or non-binary, or fluxing between the two, or the what's the wording? Eternal amount. It's a consistent, just changing. And as you know, I've also put up that post about the fact that we've now got a beauty pageant where a male has now beaten almost every other female. This is a woman's beauty pageant, and we've got a male who has got gender identity dysphoria, and he is now become second place. Not only second place, he will represent New Zealand in the Intercontinental title. So a man has now replaced all the other women except for one in the beauty pageant equivalent in New Zealand. It's shocking, just absolutely shocking. We also have, as well as that, so that's gender ideology. That's basically, if you're white, you're a racist oppressor. If you are Māori, secondly Pacifica, then you are an oppressed person. And if you are anything else, doesn't matter how many years your family's been in New Zealand, whether you're Indian or Chinese or another type of European character, you are considered tauiwi, which is basically foreigner. And that's what you are. That is what our children, your children, are being taught, and they have now implemented as of last month. So that's the critical race theory. It's the pure gender ideology. And the last one, of course, that I've noted is the new curriculum on one side of the climate change debate. That is that human beings are the main responsible character within the climate changing in the world. That it's not natural, that it is indeed man-made. And that is what your children are being taught right now. The wording is incredible. It's for 13 and 14-year-old children, and this is getting worse. This is ideological assault, propagandizing, grooming, whatever wording comes to mind. This is what this is upon our children, So it's incredibly dangerous sort of stuff. So please excuse me, it's a bit cold. I'll probably shoot off soon. Just wanted to make sure that I've got my Wednesday Night Live going. So it's something which is really important. Kia ora, Mel. Good to see you there. Yes, truth, life, and freedom. We've got to make a united stand. And that's a big one, you know. We're conservatives. We must make a united stand against the propagandizing, against the grooming of our children, against the grooming of our adults, against the redefining of our very life in New Zealand as New Zealanders. We've got to get back to equality. Basically, now that Miss Ardern and the Labour Party have full control, you're going to see the most ruthless and incredibly dangerous, invasive, and insidious changes to New Zealand way of life and redefinition of life itself. We're in most dangerous times, and maybe that's what it takes for New Zealanders to realise the hard way. Because once the benefits run out, once we cannot borrow any more money, once all of those elements are hidden, once we see people committing suicide at higher rates, maybe it will take that for people to realise that their manipulation has come at the cost of the very lives of our children, our families, our older people, our vulnerable, our weak, and it's of incredible need that we must have. Kat, tautoko that we need to make a stand, especially for our tamariki. Absolutely right, Kat. I totally agree. It's one of the reasons why I get attacked a lot. One of the reasons I get attacked a lot is because I push hard so that our children know that, hey, leave them alone. Just the drag queen aspect. Remember that I got attacked by a reporter for putting up a stuff article that showed a 11-year-old child with full-on drag queen makeup all over the child's face, and that was there to normalize a highly sexualized adult entertainment being utilized for children entertainment. It's horrific. We've got to be showing you more. And by the way, that's taxpayer funded. You pay for that. We've got to bring up more elements of that as well. So these are really important things to do. So I'm starting to realize that actually children are actually more in target than anyone else. They're not actually going after us as adults or the older people. They really are going after our children. And it's despicable. I find it incredibly despicable. And our media do not pick up on this. That's how disgraceful it is. It's just brutal how they do not pick up on these things. So just a quick one tonight. I just wanted to make sure I checked in. I'm being a bit naughty because I'm supposed to be on my break. It's beautiful here. I'm at an undisclosed location, but I don't know. Not sure if I should show you a few things here. Yeah, I'm going to be naughty. I'll show you a few. That's all. There. Hope I'm not giving anyone sort of motion sickness. There's a bridge there. There's a very big mountain. If I should give that away. That's right. I won't give that one away. Sienna, the media is in on it. Yeah, I don't even think the media have been paid off. The media haven't actually been paid off. The media are complicit because, and I think it's also their editors, the editorials that they will engage in. The editors that they have are very much ideologically positioned already. They're ideologically positioned. I've discussed with them, I've debated with them. They do have a strong sense of how they believe things should be. Now, on Twitter, I put in Donald Trump has been the greatest president, bar none. Bar none. No other president has done as good a job as President Trump in terms of sexual abuse, the human trafficking, the cartels who are basically channeling children as child prostitutes, drug runners, mules, the coyotes who transport them as well. But Donald Trump has done better than every single other president in the history in terms of defeating them, taking them, sending them back, charging them, putting those guys into cages. I watched a release when President Trump had put in an order that would actually put even a bigger stop to human traffickers, human child sex traffickers. And I watched, and there were 4 reporters, and there were cheers for well over 30. This was an official White House briefing on President Trump's order to prevent and shut down sex traffickers. And there were 4 reporters. Almost every single seat was empty. And the person doing the briefing even said that, hey, would you like questions answered? Would you like questions answered? They wouldn't ask questions. I find their media, I find our media utterly despicable. I do not believe them. It is the default that I have now. I do not believe them because they often, sometimes they'll lie, but most often they'll misinform or they'll omit. And I hate that. The mātauranga is knowledge. And if you're mucking around with the amount of knowledge that you have, then you are misinforming. You are lying by omission. It's horrific. So that's all for now. I'm better get back to it. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening in. Can't wait to hear from you. Oh, you want to say something here? Hello? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But in the meantime, love this country. I can't wait to see all of you real soon. For those of you who are Indian, happy Diwali. I hope that you have a warm and welcoming time, and we'll see you guys real soon. God bless you, and God bless New Zealand.